So this is just another foot controller I'm looking at. This is the Keith McMillan 12-step, and we have, at least at this point, the one other two-pedal control system, and that's a minimum motion, so you're using your 2 feet, and one's triggering and one's doing the pitch, but neither one has to move very much once they're in place. This is a coarse motion controller, so your foot has to be able to move a fair amount because it has to be able to cover the keyboard, and actually has to have a fair amount of dexterity too. So in its default state here, it just kind of starts. It just starts off as a plain keyboard, like a chromatic scale. One practical matter I noticed is that when you're playing it, you have to kind of chase it around because it's kind of lightweight. A couple more things with this McMillan 12-step. First thing that's kind of obvious here is I've kind of attached it to this angled thing, and it's actually made a huge difference as far as just comfort and controllability and really the ability to use the thing otherwise. The angle when it was flat on the floor was just really hard to use, and plus I found it just pretty much sliding around and moving on the floor too much. Okay, I just want to show you using this to play chords for a song, which is really one of the main things I'm hoping people can do with it. Do, 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 do. The only other thing I'm going to show you real quick here is the editor that comes with the 12-step. And this is actually pretty important. It's a pretty important piece of the controller, the instrument. So it has this patch librarian, and then it actually has ways you can edit each sound, or really each patch I should say, more than the sound. So for example, you might want to assign certain chords to certain pedals, like maybe a major to one pedal and a minor to another pedal, things like that. And one thing fairly significant here I just want you to think about is, so you could make a set of patches here. There happens to be room for 64 patches, and if you wanted to spend probably a few weeks offline editing these and memorizing, saving them, I don't mean memorizing them, saving them in this editor, you could end up with that many songs, the chords for songs. So in other words, these patches can be the various chord progressions and the various settings you might use for a particular song.